Hello, this is day 5 of my dog food and grease experiment. I wasn't going to do a video this soon, a video update, but I came across something that I thought was kind of surprising, and I thought I'd do the update a little sooner. Let's take a close look first at my dog food. You can see the top is getting moldy. If I pull this out, you'll see the mold is growing further down. The top's kind of dried out. Here's my little surprise, if I can see it. I can't see it right now. Okay, earlier when I pulled this out, there were actually worms crawling into the dog food, and that was my surprise. I wasn't expecting that to happen quite yet. I'm not seeing any right now, but there were worms starting to crawl in, mostly near the top. I don't think they like the mucky anaerobic part near the bottom, but the top is starting to go moldy. They were actually crawling around in there. I did see one maggot. I'm not really expecting anything to want to crawl into dog food quite yet. You can see the top's really dry, but it's just a little crust on the top. There were mites all over this. Let's go over to my other experiment. This is the greasy bedding experiment. This is bedding soaked in hamburger grease. This is where I got the surprise. If you'll notice, there are worms down in the bottom of this that are crawling in. Do I have any? You can't see quite from the bottom. I think I pulled this up earlier before I came out, decided to do the video. So some of the worms are crawling in. They've kind of given up. But let me do this. And here's where you see the surprise. If I dig into here a little bit. Oh, I'm not seeing it on the video very well, unfortunately. Here we go. Let's see if you can see this a little better. There are worms down in there. Can I see it in the video? I'm not sure. But here's the thing that really surprised me. Not just worms, but notice how thick the castings are. What this means is the worms have been processing this for quite a while now. So they've been in here for several days. Okay, I don't know if you can see. There's more worms right there. They're in here. They're processing this. They're creating castings. I hadn't noticed because they hadn't been up near the surface, but when I pulled this up today, I noticed that they were starting to crawl in through the sides. So we actually have worms in the bedding that's soaked in grease. Right now, it looks like this experiment is a success, that the worms will in fact eat hamburger grease that's been soaked up in bedding. Now, the question then would be, will they eat hamburger grease if it's not soaked up in bedding? But I don't know if that's something you'd really want to try, because that would create a very anaerobic condition in and around the grease. But surprise, it looks like worms actually will eat hamburger grease when it's been soaked up in bedding. And so the technique that's used to compost grease in a normal conventional composting environment, it seems to work just fine in a worm environment as well. So we'll keep the experiment going and see how well this breaks down. But it's a big surprise for me. This was a success far sooner than I expected it. And so that's day 5.